All right, welcome back to the Magic Board Quest. I'm here today with my friend Trey, local shaper, and we're gonna look at his boards and check out what the Magic board looks like. Here's something you don't see every day or ever because Trey invented it. This is an Asym Duo single log. It's such a sick combination of so many things. It's like kind of hard to describe, but it's super cool. The outline is asymmetrical, so it's different on one side than the other. On the heel side, it's got a short rail line with a flex fin, so it's easier to turn. And then on your toe side, it's got a more upright fin, a little bit longer rail line to generate drive and power through your turns. And then on the business end, check these fins. They're actually extra thin because there's two of them. This is gonna be new and different. Asym. I'm not even really sure what to say here, but you can see the concave moving to one side. No, not quite yet. Now, whoa. Oh boy, I'm like missing all over the place here. Woo! Crazy. Where's the like Asym concave? Is it right here?
Yeah, it's like a little bit further. It just goes further. Like, yeah, right here you can see it's deep.
Oh yeah. Whoa, crazy.
Like, pretty significant.
Okay, yeah. I was honestly in kind of a rush when I felt these rails, but they are pretty standard 60-40, nothing
right
crazy.
Around the time that I started shaping, I was seeing Neil Purchase Jr. boards
Yep.
with the Duo fins, and I was seeing Ryan Birch with the Asyms, which is something that just made so much sense to me to have it asymmetrical based off your stance and have the toe side be longer and more attuned to how our body is. And so I was thinking about making an asymmetrical longboard, and then I was thinking, well, what do you do with the fins on that? I've seen someone make an Asym log and have the fin like crooked.
Whoa.
And I've seen someone make it like a more to one side. But I was thinking, what if you took something like a D fin, which is essentially a keel, and made a split keel?
Yeah.
So that's all this really is, as wild as it looks, it's a split keel. I think that there's something there that when you're on nose rides, allowing that water to pass through the middle and like it kind of goes, but then having so much really more surface area that on these couple boards I have with the multiple duos, they never slide the tail to the beach.
Whoa.
Like they're so locked in that the whitewash never pushes them off course and like you release your fin and do a helicopter.
Yeah.
None of that. And then usually on a single fin, if you can achieve that, there's the counterbalance of it is that it's so locked in that you're slow and that you're stuck.
Got it.
Whereas letting the water pass through it feels like you can kind of get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Usually people's first reaction when they ride one of these is, oh, it's a lot more normal than I thought. I thought it was going to feel crazy. And it just kind of feels like a board.
Right.
And that's really how it is with all the stuff that people make and I make that's weird is you're like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. And then you stand up and you're like, oh, I'm surfing a board.
Oh yeah, it's a surfboard.
Yeah. So it's just that concept, but on a longboard.
Yeah.
And it trips people out for sure. And I understand why, because it looks pretty messed up.
Then we've got Trey's pretty standard longboard. The shape's called the lifter. The outline is fairly standard for a square tail nose rider. Where it gets interesting is in the rocker. It's got a nice flip in the tail. This sucks the board down to the water and generates lift when you're at the nose. It also keeps the tail planted while you hang 10 so it doesn't slip out. Huge. All right. Single to flat. Nice.
I like your rush mode bottom contour.
Again, I honestly took kind of a speed look at these rails, but they also don't look too crazy. This one maybe looks a little more full. This one's got a little special treatment in the back with a flex tail kind of spoon shape. It's got that little pocket. I think the idea here is it flexes through your turns and gives you some nice like smooth pop, but honestly it also just looks super cool.
This is the best nose rider I've ever made, which is funny to say, but it worked. Like the way that this locks you in is pretty next level. I mean,
eat some cereal with this puppy.
Yeah, it's a bowl for sure. I mean, I want to say it's almost like an inch deep or something.
Yeah, just about. Oh yeah, definitely there.
More so.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so pretty much I've been making some of these nose riders with the kind of scoop flip tail that you see a lot of.
Yeah.
You know, like where it really gathers the water and slows it down, flicks it up.
Yeah.
Pushing the tail down, lifting the nose up.
Yeah.
That's where I get the name the lifters. But this thing is the best.
Yeah. Like, what's it like? Give me like a summary of riding it.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely your smaller wave nose riding longboard.
Yeah, okay.
This is creating so much drag with how deep this is. Like, you'll see sitting on it, there's a pool of water in here.
Right.
When you're moving through the water, this thing is just, like, water's hitting this and stopping.
Yeah.
Which is great for nose riding, but not so great if you're looking to do, like, big wraps on your log.
Yeah.
So when it gets kind of bigger, it has a tendency to feel like it's getting kind of held up.
Yeah, okay.
Which is why in, like, later kind of iterations, like this one that you may or may not be able to see behind me, has a mellower concave, kind of dialed it back to where I was before I made this. Right. So it has its drawbacks that, you know, with some level of extremity, you're gonna lose an extremity on the other side. This thing is just like locked in.
Whoa.
Where you'll be on a wave that you probably even shouldn't even be nose riding, which is a whole nother thing to talk about. And you can be like fully planted on a 10, like switch heels. What, like I swear it's like the craziest amount of lift. Awesome. And that's what it's called, is the lifter.
This is what Trey calls the Hip Twin. It's his take on a shortboard with a little bit of fish influence. It's a super sick looking shortboard. It carries a bit more foam than a true performance board in this size would. And it has a sick little hip that tightens the radius and turns. Got it. What do we got here? Single. Does it go flat anywhere in here? Nope.
No, it's just double.
Oh. As we go into the smaller boards, they have a little bit more of a down rail that makes them hug the water with a little more precision.
Good to go?
Oh, excuse me, Luna. Yeah, let's rip. What's the deal? Tell me about this one.
So this is a 5'8", that says it on this one. This is a 5'8" by 19.5 by 2 3/8 hip twin. But now I call it the Hip Twinzer because I've gone with the trend. I've gone with the trend and thrown in the Twinzers.
Nice.
More or less, this thing is based off like a Mark Richards twin. It's just, it looks pretty strange with the hip. But it's really just the same functionality as a wing. These things are really kind of good all arounder, like everyday kind of alternative shortboard, right?
Yeah.
Where when it gets a little bigger, it's cool, works good, and then when it's small, it works really nice too. And yeah, adding the Twinzer just kind of has been giving it a little bit more bite and a little bit more performance. And since it's kind of that mid-performance, kind of between a fish and a shortboard, I've found that it's nice to have that little added performance instead of it like just being a little more fishy. Yeah, and it's fun. It's nice and like slidey when you want it to be, if you want to like creep your foot back, and it's nice and drivey when you have it further forward. That's what I think one of the nicest things about whether it's wings or a hip like this sort of design is you have a lot of room to play with your foot placement since there's a good amount of tail behind the fins. So when you do step back there, you can get it real slippery. And then when you are up in front, it's really drivey.
Cool.
You know, out of all the extremity that I like to play around with, it is like I do get on these ones. And even though it's got like a weirder hip deal, I mean, it's a wide point forward, pretty subtle twin fin, and it just kind of works.
Luna just wants to hang out.
Luna just wants to hang.
Oh. Off you go. And per the comments request, we got finally some shots from land of the featured rider ripping, and fortunately Trey shreds, so we got some sick clips here. This is an SG fish. It's a pretty standard fish outline with a full nose. Being 5'3", it's got a nice arc in the rail. Looks like it would rip some nice turns. Pretty standard looking rocker. The interesting part of this board is on the bottom, which we'll get to in a second. Well, the triplane's gonna look cool.
No, triplane's fun.
Triplane. Yeah. Wow, that's pretty deep.
Yeah, it's a deep thing.
It's funny how many things, especially whiteboards, when you look at them, you're like, oh, there's more here than I was seeing. Wow, that's beautiful.
Yeah, it's just single.
Oh,
and then behind the fins, it kind of goes flat.
Yep.
Look right there.
Nice. Yep. And then we got another nice down rail. This thing looks like it would hook up super well.
This thing will go pretty much from here to well overhead.
Whoa.
And that's what really, I mean, kind of the one board Quiver in a sense. And this is one of the ones that I've surfed a lot and surfed a lot of conditions on. Yeah. And I've been pretty pleasantly surprised with. Generally feel like it's pretty good in most stuff, but sometimes when it's like kind of more smaller and gutless, these kind of edges kind of want to dig a little bit more here and there. But then when it's in the right spot and you're in the right spot, is one of the most magic feeling things that I have with how it kind of splits up the water and like leads the forward edge of the rail into the water and allows that whole rail to engage instead of kind of just releasing too much.
Wow.
Which I think a lot of fishes kind of are just creating so much release because they're going so fast and you're flying.
And twins.
Yeah, just in general, which really helps this thing like nail super late drops.
Oh.
Like I feel like when I'm like taking off at like an angle, like trying to get into a barrel, it really like sucks the water in and like
dives in
and like controllably drops in instead of like sometimes with twin fins you like kind of slip out. You know?
Cool.
So that's one thing that I've noticed with this board in like hollower surf, like still bites really good, taking off super late, like against the wall, you know? So
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good one. This has been one of my favorite boards for the last like year and a half or so. And it's in super good condition on this side. The deck's a little...
Just keep the other side. And finally, we've got the Mini Simmons. At 4'9", this thing is basically a skateboard. It's got pretty parallel rails, but it's so little, and with that big tail, it looks like you can really just power it through turns. And while the deck is pretty flat, it does have some nice rocker, and it's not as flat as other Mini Simmons I've seen. All right. All right, what do we got? Oh, single. Single. Flat double. Into some V double.
It's like a wakeboard.
Oh, sick. Yeah, it kind of looks like a wakeboard.
I mean, this thing is like all speed all the time. Yeah. And it's like more of the job is controlling the speed, you know?
Right.
And it's really interesting because you can do a lot of like cool slidey, small wave maneuvers and stuff. But then when you start putting it in more juice, it gets really pretty interesting.
4'9" with juice sounds terrifying.
Dude, it's pretty interesting managing it.
Yeah.
Because if you are doing like a big turn on like a bigger wave and you try to put force into it, you're going to blow it out every time.
Right.
So it's like a really technique driven board where you are just putting like the littlest amount of ankle pressure and like end up doing this like big turn because you're just
you
not
got a lot
trying
of foam
to push it.
Yeah,
super wide tail.
Yeah.
Pretty wide nose too. The whole thing's just the whole thing with the fins and the V double coming all together. It just goes really fast and it's just super responsive. And pretty much, I mean, you can have like a full-on blast shortboarding like knee-high waves on it.
Sick.
Not something I do a lot, but man, in the right day, like this thing, you can like full like be like blowtail, like it just kind of does it, and you're like, whoa. This one's a custom for myself. Dude, I've probably gotten like maybe the second best barrel of my life on this. This one I did get the best barrel of my life on. So this is a 510 quad, new model I'm kind of working on. Here's a super weird one.
Dude.
But that's like the Duo Bonzer kind of thing.
Duozer. Whoa, crazy.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, you know, it's a really fun thing to do, actually, which everyone's trying this at home, is if you have like a thruster set and someone else is driving, play with those out the car window, because you'll find that a thruster center fin likes to stay straight, like because it's a 50-50 foil, so the wind's just passing over it super evenly, and it's pretty good at just keeping its lift and staying straight. And then you put a flat foil with all the foil on one side, and you'll see as you move it, it wants to knife that way.
Everything's on fire. You can only grab one. Which one are you running to?
None of them. Leaving them all. Okay, I guess I was telling you earlier, and I guess I'll choose that one potentially, maybe. Is my second board I ever made.
Whoa.
It is just totally whack. Like, crazy amount of panel V. The fins are at like 9 degrees cant, twin fin. Upright twin fin. It's just so loose and slidey. But I spent so much time on it that I don't think that I've ever had a connection with a board quite like that. Where I felt like no matter what came my way, it was interesting and worked exactly how I wanted it to at the time. And that's what I had mentioned before, is that hopping back on that board
Right.
doesn't work as good now.
Right.
For me.
Yeah.
So maybe a magic board, there's a certain temporal
Yeah, well, it highlights
nexus.
It's a moving target too, right?
Yeah,
it changes.
right. Yeah, and it's like in a certain time, in a certain place, it's magic, and then later it's not, or maybe one will be later.
Yeah.
And I guess that feeds into my overall thoughts.
Yeah. So what makes a board magic?
About magic boards. So I have mixed feelings here,
right?
As you can tell.
Yeah.
On the one hand, I think that any board can be a magic board.
Yeah.
On the other hand, some boards just don't seem to work for you. And then on the third hand, there's the temporal part of it that at the time that my second board that I ever made, it's a total piece, garbage. I put so much time in on it that it became the magic board, and now it's no longer the magic board. I think for me sometimes the magic is in the weirdness and the novelty of having that magic moment on something that looks fucked up, more or less. And I like to make shit that looks fucked up. Which one would I grab? I don't think I know till it's on fire,
All right, thanks for joining us on the quest for the magic board. We'll see you next time.